If you're a business owner, you know, outside of producing leads, you gotta close sales. If you don't close sales, you don't got no money. Okay. So in this video today, I want to help you close more deals and make more money. Is everybody all right with that? I'm going to give you 7 keys on how to make more money through your sales process. Now, it's interesting that I'm even the guy to create this video, considering I still don't consider myself a great salesperson. But I was good enough over the last 7 years to collect over $6 million online. So I had to learn a thing or two. But I think more importantly, I've learned who I am in this process. And my goal for the video is that you will also learn who you are in this process, because the more aware you become of yourself, the easier it's going to be to implement these 7 keys that I'm going to give you in this video, as well as to be able to go out and close more deals without even trying to. Okay. Is that all right with everybody? So the first one is this. Okay. The first one is this. You got to be more confident. Be more confident. What do you mean? Be more confident. See, most people think that to be successful in sales, it means to exude confidence. It means to exude arrogance. It means to exude that you're the smartest person in the room. That's not the type of confidence I'm talking about. The confidence that I'm talking about is that you have to be so confident in your offer that you know every single time you sit across with somebody, if they legitimately have the problem that you have the solution for, that you have to sell it to them if they're willing to buy it. Do you want me to say that again? You have to be so confident in your offer that you know if somebody has this problem and you have this solution, that they are better off in life if they walk away with your thing in their hand. That's the confidence I'm talking about. And one of the problems that I see a lot of the time in the sales process is that people just aren't very confident in their offer. They're just selling this thing because they think that's what they're supposed to sell, as opposed to being extremely confident in the fact that this person, when they spend this money, is going to get the product, the service, and the payoff that they desire. Okay. Number 2, by the way, you do not want to miss number 5. Number 2, this is a big one. Stop trying to get them to buy. Stop trying to get them to buy. This is a big, big problem. Okay. Here's what you need to understand about sales. If I'm trying to convince you to do something, then that means that I'm trying to get you to do something for my benefit. That's manipulation. If I'm persuading you by answering questions and doubts and limiting beliefs, if I'm persuading you to help you to make a decision, then now I'm helping you. I'm not manipulating you. People oftentimes, when they come to you for help, for your product or your service, the thing they're struggling with most is self-doubt, disbelief in either the product or the service, disbelief that they can go out and execute it, imposter syndrome, limiting beliefs about money, scarcity issues because that's what they dealt with in their home life when they grew up. So you got all of these various barriers that, depending on who your potential client is, they're dealing with these things. And so you're helping them to bypass all of these roadblocks, right? Systemically, just to help them to see things more clearly so that they can have a better life, whether they buy your thing or not. That's part of your job as a salesperson, is to help people get rid of the baggage that is keeping them from having the life that they desire. Okay. So what is that doing? That's called, you're persuading them to see themselves differently and gain a new perspective about their life. As a result of doing so, guess what I don't have to do? I don't have to get them to buy anything. All I need to do is to help them see themselves in a new frame. And if they could see themselves move from over here to over here by way of the product or service that I have that can help solve the problem that they have, then I never got to try to get them to buy anything. Now, this is a hack for my believers out there. Okay. I'm a man of faith. I strongly believe in Matthew 6:33, that if we seek ye first the kingdom and his righteousness, all these things will be added. What does that mean? That if I show up every day to seek to serve my assignment, I'm courteous to the server at the restaurant, I speak to the janitors I come across, like I'm consciously serving my assignment, whoever I'm engaging with. If I'm serving a client, I'm fully present with them and helping them. If I'm serving my family, I'm fully present with them, helping them. The text says that if I seek to serve, that then all these things will be added. Problem with society is that we wake up every day and we seek things instead of seeking to serve. Now, this may sound crazy if you're not a believer and if you're not yielded to God. I'm talking about those that are. God said, seek to serve my kingdom every day, and then I'll add all these things. So if I understand that and I believe that in my heart and I own that in principle in the way in which I live my life, then why would I ever have to get anybody to buy anything? I wouldn't. It took all the pressure off of me when I adopted this to be true in my life. So what do? I pray before I do every presentation. I pray before I go live. I pray before I speak in front of a room. I pray before a sales call. Why? Because at the end of the day, all I'm trying to do is serve my assignment. I'm trying to help whoever it is in front of me, whether it's thousands of people or one, because I know that my increase comes from him. Now, he may send it through them. He may not. So what I got to do is follow these 7 steps and be best prepared as I possibly can, as I'm going to help you do in this video. And then after that, understand that I don't need anything from anybody. When you develop the posture of I don't care what bill is banging at your door, I don't care what problem that you got to deal with, I don't care what the bank account say today. When you understand that none of that matter, because regardless of what your circumstance is, that the increase comes from him, everything changes. Because then you never show up with commission on the breath trying to get somebody to do something. I ain't never trying to get nobody to do nothing. All I'm trying to do is help the person that's sitting across from me see themselves in the proper frame if the one that they got is broken, so that they can make the right decision to solve their problem if my solution makes sense. Does that just take a lot of pressure off of everybody? Because it changed the game for me when I did it, okay? I got to get through these next few because I got a meeting I got to get to. Number 3. This is a big one. All of them big, honestly. You're going to need to go back and rewatch this, share it with a friend. By the way, if this is helping you already, just like it, please, so that it get pushed out in the algorithm. I need y'all help with that. I appreciate you. Here's number 3. Listen to respond, not react. Listen to respond, not react. B, what's the difference? So oftentimes what happens is this, especially in a sales environment, whether you're doing a one-on-one call and you got your sales script and you kind of going through your framework of, profile, understanding, diagnosis, and then prescription. By the way, that's my PUDP framework. I'm not going to teach that in this video, but we'll put that at the end of this video so that you can watch my actual sales framework. It will work phenomenal for you if you adopt it. Okay. But the point I'm making is that most of us, we get caught up in what we're supposed to do next. And so we're listening to react to what's next instead of listening to respond to what's necessary. We're normally listening to react to what's next instead of listening to respond to what's necessary. The most important thing that ever happens on a sales call in a sales environment, the most important thing that happens is you listening to what they said last. Not just you listening to what they said last, but you addressing the last thing they said. Listen to me. And some of y'all are probably thinking about it right now, like, dang, that's the mistake I'll be making, where somebody get on a sales call and they say to you, I've been wanting to do this for like 3 years. And every time I get close to doing it, I just keep thinking about, all the mistakes that I made before. And I tried this other thing and it failed. And, I've been kind of living in shame about that. And so I've been a little bit skittish and don't want nobody to know what I'm doing and yada, yada, yada. And guess what you do? I totally understand. Totally understand. So, so the way that our program works, I know. Ask me how I know. This is why you're losing money. The most important thing that's said on that call is the last thing they said. So if you understand that, when somebody tells you something like that they've been dealing with shame and they've been dealing with depression and self-doubt and all the things of the past, you know what your next thing should be? Tell me more about that. So what exactly happened there? Why? Because if I seek to serve my assignment, if I'm really trying to help somebody get a breakthrough in their life that's holding them back in bondage, no matter whether they buy or not, God is happy with me. because I'm serving my assignment. He sent somebody in my purview that's dealing with an issue that I got enough capacity to be able to aid and assist them and help them overcome this thing that they've been dealing with that's been holding them back for 3 years. So it's not about moving next to my next item or agenda in my script. It's about addressing the very thing that they just told you that they've been dealing with. Does that make sense? So we got to stop listening to respond. We got to stop listening to react, and we got to start listening to respond. Y'all with me? All right. Number 4. This is a big one. Only sell what will help. Only sell what'll help. Now, a lot of you probably are wondering, but my thing help everybody, but not really though, right? So as an example, back when we had our real estate mastermind, I would periodically have people reach out to me and say, hey, yeah, I'm really trying to get into tax deeds and tax liens. Although I have enough working knowledge of it because I've been in real estate 18 years, that wasn't our specialty. We help people with building out cash flow portfolios, wholesale deals, and fix and flip and raise capital. That was like our core fundamentals of what we did within that mastermind before we closed it. So if they came to me looking for tax deed and tax liens, guess what I would tell them? I'm not your guy. If we could stop being so thirsty for a minute and stop trying to sell everybody everything, I just tell people, now, does that mean that if I have them in front of me, I won't ask some qualifying questions to understand, are they married to the goal? Are they married to the pathway? Because here's the thing. My philosophy is this. You should be married to the goal and you should date the method. So I should be married to the goal, but date the method of how I get there, right? Y'all understand what I'm saying? So I'll ask them questions to understand based on what their goal is, will one of my pathways get them there? But if I understand that their true desire is just that they want to do tax deeds or tax lien properties, then I'm not your guy. And be okay with that. I'm not your gal. Be okay with that. Does that make sense? So only sell them what will help them. The integrity behind that, you'd be surprised that people refer other people to you. People may even come back to you after the other thing didn't work out, but it's only after you did the right thing by them to begin with. Okay? Ooh, I told y'all number 5 was good, didn't I? I wasn't lying. That I don't do. This good. That's good. Have a predetermined price. Stop getting on sales calls, on sales presentations, on webinars, on challenges, on speaking engagements, and not having a predetermined price with a predetermined offer. Yeah, every time you show up to sell something, it turned into a flea market negotiation. You know what? So what's in your budget? What's in your budget ain't important to me. This is what it costs for the transformation. Now, the only thing we can negotiate is how you may choose to pay for this thing, right? We may have different payment options and payment plans and things of that nature, but as it pertains to the price, it costs what it costs. So stop showing up without a predetermined price and turning everything into a flea market negotiation, okay? Number 6. We almost done, y'all. Number 6, you got to understand this. People gonna people. So what I was just talking about, number 5, about how you negotiate maybe how they can pay for it. You give half down, we put you on a payment plan, but you have to use wisdom and discernment in that though. Why? Because people gonna people. If you let somebody come into your 1-year program or your 1-year service contract or whatever, and they don't put down a considerable amount of money up front and they only just start paying whatever the monthly is, people gonna people. You have to anticipate that they're gonna fall off at some point. Why? Because they already came into the situation kind of financially challenged. Well, guess what? That condition may persist for a little while, right? So you have to anticipate that people are likely going to break their agreement. By doing so, then up front, you safeguard yourself by getting more of a down payment up front. So that even if they stop paying, at least you got paid adequately for your time, as opposed to you let them come in on borrowed money and borrowed time, and then you look up and you like, man, they defaulted after 2 months, and yet I gave them all this value, etc. And I know there's programs out there that will only give you so much of the value because of so much of the money. I don't like doing all that personally, right? 7 years of having a coaching business, made millions of dollars online. I've never done it that way. I want to just have proper discernment up front. I want to make the prudent decision up front. And then I just want to live with that decision. That's me personally. You come into one of our programs, we serve you from day one, payment plan or not. Okay. But you also got to know if they don't do what they're supposed to do, it's their loss. That's the way I really feel. We help our clients have 6-figure days in their businesses, 6-figure months. I mean, one of our clients has done 800,000 in 6 months, right? So if you don't pay me, that's your loss. Okay. At the same time, we're going to have discernment up front about how we go about doing that. So that was number 6. And the last one, and I got to get out of here for this meeting. Oh, this is good. Man, this is good. This is a good video, y'all. If you don't say nothing, I'm going to tell you it's good. Okay. This is number 7, value before price. Value before price. Now I know, and this is even for my brick and mortars out there. It don't matter what kind of business you got. A lot of you will have the tendency, if you're putting together a proposal for a client, especially if you do it all pretty and PDF and gloss and all that, you put the price at the top along with your name and all the other things like you're writing out some type of paper in school. And then you list all the stuff. They ain't stop thinking about that price that you put at the top. Let me say that again. When you put the price at the top before the value, they have not stopped thinking about the price after you went through that whole list of value. It is a tab that is running in the back of their mind. What does that mean for you? It's going to be harder to close that person because they're focused on the price and they missed the value. Well, what's the problem with that, B? Problem is price is only an issue in the absence of value. So let me slow that down. Price is only an issue in the absence of value. So if you put the price at the top of your offer, it is now absent of the value. So your price is always going to be a problem. If my offer was $10,000 and I never got to tell you all the value in the offer that's going to help you make $100,000 in 90 days, then you're going to get so hung up on the 10,000 because all you can look at it as a deficit. Because you haven't heard the benefit of how you're going to make money from it yet. Does that make sense? So you need to revamp all your offers, all your sales presentations, every way in which you explain what you do, to explain the value first. And not just the value, but the tangible payoff that they get as a result of your product or your service. Even if it's you a marriage coach and if the average divorce is $75,000 and your offer costs $7,500 for 3 months of coaching or consulting, then it's like to alleviate having to spend $75,000 or more and go through the death of a divorce, because that's what it is. $7,500 will restore and repair your union so that you don't have to do that, right? So what are you doing? You're establishing the value of why your thing costs what it costs. The problem is people try to display the costs and then they spend all this other time trying to recover in the sales process and it don't work. Why? Yes, you got it. Because price is only an issue in the absence of the value. If this helped you, let me know below. I genuinely just want to know. And also, if you want me to make a part 2 to this, let me know. Because I thought of some other things as I was teaching this part that really will take your business to the next level. This will, just doing this will, but then I got some other stuff that I'd like to share too. So y'all know, y'all let me know if you want me to do a part 2. And if it really did help you, send this, share this, help somebody else because you were helped. God bless y'all. I'll see you in the next one.